So I'm reviewing Forbes Africa for the month of March 2018. On the cover is Richard Branson and what the billionaire entrepreneur is doing next in Africa. In fact, this is like the entrepreneur's Bible by Forbes Africa. And there's something that Richard Branson says in this particular issue. He says Africans are natural entrepreneurs. And I think Forbes echoed him and went all out to look at what the entrepreneurs on the continent look like. They're the new kids on the block and they're on the mining block. So read about what mining is doing and who the new players in mining in Africa are. Also, in this particular issue, a fantastic look at what other sorts of entrepreneurs on the continent look like. So there's a social entrepreneur who decided not to make money, but decided I'm going to serve, find out what he's doing. And then there's a story. You know, we don't like to tell about our failures, and entrepreneurs need to know that entrepreneurship is not sexy. Until it's successful, it isn't. And Garvin Mukabela tells his story of his worst day. It's in Forbes Africa. He says, our company's financial controls were a mess. There was money coming into the business, but more money went out, okay? So you need to read that. And I've also seen the serious business of funny. Now, if there's an amazing talent coming out of the continent, I mean, other than, you know, the obvious, and you've got to thank Black Panther for this, is that we've got some of the funniest people, and we're represented every night as a continent by Trevor Noah in the US. He is funny, and he has a wit, and he also has an insight that is very refreshing. And you know what? His plan is lined up, because only in his time could Donald Trump have been president, only in his time. But also, there's a sobering article in here, and it says, Africa left in the cold. So the World Economic Forum in Davos, Africa was not actually even on the agenda. Now, I'm a very big believer that it's time Africa actually held its own economic conversations. Don't tell me about the development conference, one that is about us and for us, to which we invite the rest of the world, where we set the agenda and the talking points. I'm a Pan-Africanist in more ways than one, other than just celebrating everybody who's excited on the continent every time I review Forbes Africa. And I hope in my lifetime, I'll be part of the conversation and the people who put together the Davos for Africa in Africa, led by African conversations that other people need to input in, so that nobody's talking at us or about us, but they're talking with us and about what it is we want to see on the continent. We need to start driving the development agenda, because we don't own it or drive it. And when we stop going to Davos, seriously, yes, I am that chick, and we say, come to Africa, is when I think we will be on the agenda, and on the agenda as a real player and not as a continent that needs to be saved. Wakanda is real. We just need to actualize it. Okay, so buy your copy of Forbes Africa, and if you can't get one, I've got about 15 odd copies sitting in my office, so hit me up if you're in Nairobi and I'll make sure you can get, actually you can get both of them. I can send them to you like that. Okay, super. Have a great week and a great month.